It's highly likely that Lala purchases followers, right? I can't fathom how she hasn't lost any after that disastrous reunion. Remember when she dropped to 2.3 million a while back due to her antics, only to bounce back to 2.4 million the next day? It's pretty obvious she's boosting her numbers with purchased followers and bots. And get this, she even went on a podcast claiming she doesn't buy bots. Yeah, right. Then there's the whole saga about Ariana supposedly not reaching out, but surprise, surprise, there's a clip showing Ariana's texts reaching out multiple times. Either Lala's a compulsive liar or she's suffering from selective memory. She must be buying followers, especially since she made a point to call out VBR and some Valley cast members for it recently. Despite her massive follower count, her engagement is abysmal. Even when she tried to accuse Cassiana of buying followers, she couldn't hide her own low engagement. After all, influencers get paid based on both follower count and engagement. It's not just about having followers, they need to interact with your content too. By the way, Cassiana's engagement is actually pretty decent. Meanwhile, Jessica decided to boost Lauren's numbers with a few 100,000 bot followers to lift her spirits, especially since she can't rely on her rehearsed responses for a while now. And forget about a baby spinoff. Those are reserved for Bravo-Britties with genuine personalities and loyal fan bases. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Spill Chronicles. It's me, Ramona here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching. So let's dive into today's video. On the other hand, removing the months-long affair, the fact that he stayed behind instead of attending her grandmother's funeral just to be with his mistress is proof enough of his lack of morals. There's no way he can redeem himself after that. And let's not even get started on the timing of Charlotte's passing. When Rachel showed up with flowers to console her, and then we learned about the morning after incident with Sandoval, it was just disgusting. He abandoned her years ago when she needed him the most, especially on her first birthday after her father's passing. What more could she have expected from him? This is who he's always been. I'm glad Ariana realized it now, rather than 10 more years down the line when they might have kids and even more financial entanglements to sort through. However, from Lala's Amazon Live, is Lala planning to attend something about her? It feels insincere. If she simply acknowledged that they're not on good terms right now and she's not planning to visit their shop, it would have been more genuine. Instead, she chose to continue with her fake hypocrisy, alienating what few fans she has left. If she actually missed SAA, she must be unaware of being cancelled. Good luck reemerging on social media next week, girl. Acting as if she didn't know the shop has been open for a week already? Seriously? While Ariana is off in Fiji for her new job, and Katie is managing the crowds at their new sandwich shop, I doubt they're losing sleep over this. Reflecting on the reunion toast, she didn't even take a bite of the sandwich on stage. She should focus on her own life and happiness, away from Saya. Did anyone else notice her awkwardly standing alone while everyone else was hugging and chatting? I had no idea it was open. Cut the act, Lauren. You're not fooling anyone with your pretend cluelessness. She always resorts to her "I live under a rock" and have no idea what's happening routine whenever she's too afraid to give an honest opinion. Anything to avoid taking a stance and pretending to be too busy for anything else. We all see you recording Amazon Lives in your garage all week, Lauren. We know you're not that busy. Her disingenuous "I'm so happy for them and would love to try their sandwiches" act is laughable. Are we supposed to believe it was her evil twin Baba who expressed indifference towards Ariana and Katie and okayed the end of their friendships? Additionally, now that I've caught up with season 11, remember when Ari mentioned that people might sympathize with Tom before the season premiered? I have this habit of waiting until the whole season airs so I can binge watch it. Going into the season with Ariana's quote in mind, I couldn't help but notice how wrong she was, and honestly, I couldn't be happier. My girl Ariana faced every challenge head-on this season. Another observation from binge-watching the entire season in a week, not sure if others have mentioned it. Lala's God diatribe seemed to be portrayed differently in the early clips compared to the actual scene. It sounded somewhat altered. It makes me wonder if production took multiple takes of it. And that moment when Sandoval hugged Scheana had me in stitches because it looked like he jumped the gun before Scheana finished her crying act. To be fair, Ariana wasn't entirely wrong. The narrative was definitely leaning that way, but Tom can't seem to keep his mouth shut, so it shifted. He brought it upon himself by seizing every opportunity to be a gross POS. Ariana is not just smart, she's also astute. She understands the principle of what goes up must come down, and simply acknowledging that made her even more relatable and likable. Furthermore, Ariana is savvy. She likely anticipated the redemption arc producers would craft. Knowing the history of producers propping up problematic men like Baskin, she could foresee them protecting Tom. By putting this out there before the season aired, she raised my awareness and definitely made me view season 11 with a more critical eye towards the editing. Moreover, during the after-show episode for part 3 of the reunion, the conversation veered towards the Valley, and at one point, producers questioned Jax about his bar investment. He enthusiastically shared about what he described as the opportunity of a lifetime, emphasizing that he didn't need to put in any of his own money. According to him, his lawyer and agent were amazed by the deal, considering it unprecedented yet exceptional. However, throughout his spiel, the Toms seemed visibly irritated. Now the question arises, is Jax's story actually true? Can established restaurateurs really offer such lucrative deals to former reality stars? Essentially, Jax seems to be more of a paid spokesperson for a section of a real bar and restaurant. While he refers to it as his restaurant and presents it as his own venture, the reality is that he doesn't hold licenses for food service or alcohol. Everything operates under Rocco's establishment. So, what's the truth? It's likely a bit of both. Jax might be embellishing the deal, but it's conceivable that it's a licensing arrangement. Essentially, he promotes the place bearing his name, and in return, he likely receives a modest percentage of equity in the business. While such arrangements aren't commonplace, they're not entirely unheard of either, especially in industries like entertainment. On the other hand, looking ahead to a potential season 12, the question arises, can relationships among LFU, Ariana, and Katie be salvaged? Ariana's bond with Scheana might endure, as Ariana seems capable of bridging any distance with just one heartfelt conversation or a shared cry from Scheana. As for LFU, Ariana's forgiving nature might open a door for reconciliation, although it remains uncertain if Katie will follow suit. Despite LFU's flaws, their past friendship had its moments, leaving a glimmer of hope for restoration. Regarding Ariana's relationship with Scheana, while they may maintain a friendship, the dynamics have irrevocably shifted. As for LFU, superficiality might define their interactions, chosen by LFU herself. Scheana may strive to mend fences with Ariana, creating tension with LFU. Meanwhile, Ariana and Katie could provide comic relief by observing the chaos. Ariana could effortlessly maintain surface-level friendships, exhibiting grace and cordiality. However, deep emotional connections seem improbable with LFU and Scheana. This shift might distress Scheana, relegated to the periphery, while LFU's authenticity might be challenged by Ariana's composed demeanor. In dealing with emotional vampires, surface kindness could be Ariana's genuine approach. Observing Scheana and LFU grapple with their actions, while Ariana and Katie remain detached, could provide intriguing dynamics. Furthermore, Katie's relationship with LFU raises questions. Will Katie ever trust LFU with personal matters after the betrayal of their private conversation? While LFU's initial aggression post-reunion has subdued, Katie's memory seems unyielding. However, I found the constant conversations Scheana initiated with Ariana about Tom to be quite distasteful. While I'm not necessarily a staunch Ariana supporter and I have my reservations about Tom, particularly due to his past cheating patterns, especially with the emotional affair involving Ariana, I couldn't understand the close bond between Ariana and Scheana. They seem like quite different individuals, and this season only exacerbated my confusion. Scheana's continuous updates about her interactions with Tom, accompanied by tears and praises of his behavior, struck me as rude and disrespectful. Ariana's composed reaction was commendable, but it felt like Scheana was trying to bait her into an emotional outburst, or perhaps gain her approval to befriend Tom, or even have Ariana engage in one-on-one conversations with him. It's disheartening to learn that the producers pressured them into talking one-on-one, jeopardizing the organic evolution of their relationships. This season overly focused on the dynamics between specific individuals, detracting from the potential depth of other interactions. In retrospect, it's evident that Scheana's intentions were to influence Ariana into forgiving Tom, albeit clumsily executed. Perhaps Ariana's lack of explosion encouraged Scheana to persist. Both Scheana and Lala seem to have been manipulated by the producers this season, shifting the spotlight away from Sandoval and onto them, effectively casting them as the new villains. Initially, Ariana and Scheana might have shared similarities, but Ariana's growth has set them apart. While Ariana empathizes with Scheana's people-pleasing tendencies, she has evolved beyond them. Despite these differences, I've always had a soft spot for Scheana, albeit recognizing the flaws in her traits. Conversely, I found myself relating more to Ariana over time. Additionally, the scene with Sandoval at the restaurant was undeniably cringeworthy. His awkward approach, coupled with his oversharing about his recent breakup and affair, made for uncomfortable viewing. Despite my long-standing disinterest in Sandoval, I couldn't help but feel embarrassed for him during that moment. Surprisingly, though, I found the Secrets Revealed episode to be the most entertaining of Season 11. However, it's worth noting that the scene was somewhat staged. The woman he approached owns the restaurant and is also a Russian pop star known among a particular demographic. Interestingly, she boasts more Instagram followers than Sandoval himself. It turns out they already knew each other. The Toms had previously dined at her establishment, and there were social media posts about it. Moreover, she and Sandoval had a brief fling during the summer or fall. Their interaction at Kyle Chan's final party, captured in photos, further supports this. It seems that Sandoval and the producers have a penchant for orchestrating these contrived, cringe-inducing scenes. Whether it's the pool party scenario or encounters like this one, the intention may be to portray Sandoval as endearingly clueless when it comes to interacting with women post-breakup. However, the artificiality of these setups is hard to ignore. Moreover, for me, it's definitely Season 6. It's a perfect blend of classic Vanderpump Rules drama, with Jax and Schwartz's cheating scandals and Stassi's epic birthday meltdown, alongside fresh and captivating storylines like Lala's feud with everyone over her secretive boyfriend. Plus, anything involving James adds an extra layer of entertainment. And of course, who could forget the unforgettable Rob saga? As for my favorite, it's a tie between Season 8 and 9. It's the season where all the girls are finally getting along, like the memorable trip to Solvang and the build-up to Jax and Brittany's wedding. Stassi's engagement adds another exciting dimension. The camaraderie among the girls makes it a joy to watch, and I find myself revisiting those episodes frequently for the sheer fun and laughter they bring. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.